I'm now joined by Carol Grayson, whose husband died after contracting HIV and hepatitis B and C from blood plasma transfusions, and by Andrew March, a haemophiliac who contracted both HIV and hepatitis C through contaminated blood. I know you're both angry and disappointed, but let me put to you some of the things that the government have been saying. The Public Health Minister, Dawn Primarolo, said, "I'd like to offer my deepest sympathy for all those who suffered in this tragic episode. Every reasonable step to minimise risks from blood has been taken." It's not the apology, for a start, that you wanted, is it?
It's not the apology, and it's also not factually correct. Because over the years, I actually wrote my own report which critiqued the 2006 government report and basically showed that a lot of the steps hadn't been taken towards safety.
Andrew, the statement also says to help those affected, £150 million has already been given out in lump sums and discretionary payments. We are doubling annual payments to individuals affected by HIV to £12,800 on average. What do you think of that?
Disgraceful. And I would like to just query the 150 million that they say they've paid out. If you divide it up over 5,000 people, you come to a very small figure that's less than some people's annual salary. And the amount they're talking about, doubling for the Macfarlane Trust beneficiaries, it leaves absolutely nothing for the people with hepatitis C. They've been completely ignored by this. And, today our campaign group has been completely awash with very, very distressed people.
What would have happened if you'd been in Ireland and had to go through this same stuff? What would you have got in compensation from the Irish government?
It would have been really substantial. The two figures combined for both hepatitis C and HIV would have awarded me something in the region of £850,000.
£850,000 compared to, £12,800 annually?
Yes, or a lump sum of £21,500 for giving me HIV at the age of 9.
Well, the government statement also says the Skipton Fund, this is quite complicated, but this is a fund that was set up to offer support to individuals who contracted hepatitis C, and they paid out through that fund £97 million. Each individual received £20,000 on diagnosis and so on and so on and so on. So in other words, they're saying they have done something for people with hepatitis C.
The Skipton Fund gives a one-off payment to people, and the highest payment is £45,000. Now, in Ireland, there's one settlement which goes as high as £5 million for somebody with hepatitis C. That is the highest payout in Ireland. So there's a huge, gap between £45,000 and £5 million.
And just to be clear about this was something that was done to you by the NHS as part of your treatment when you were a 9-year-old.
Yes, I believe that this was wholly avoidable. Obviously, as a severe haemophiliac, I did need the medicine that they gave us, but through the research that I've done, I can determine that there were plenty of warnings, and if they'd taken better action over the risk of hepatitis, which was, adequately warned about in 1975 and 1980, there would have been a better safety in terms of blood that would have protected us.
Is there, just very briefly, have you got places to go now? Can you go to the courts? What more can you do? You're obviously going to keep up your campaign.
The next step for us is to go to Europe, as I say, under Article 2 of the Human Rights Act. And I think it's a disgrace that, as this is the worst medical treatment disaster in the history of the NHS, that the government are ducking and diving tonight and are not here to face us.
You're not going to give up, it doesn't look.
No, I'm going to launch a litigation for variant CJD exposure. We've been holding off, hoping the government wouldn't put us through this. We're also going to look at reviving the judicial review process here that we put on hold, waiting for Lord Archer, who's done a fantastic job.
OK, thank you both very much.
Thank you.